we were here and we turned to the right to get to here. And then we turned to the left to get to here. What I'd like to do is turn to the left and then to the right. So if we were to just orient everything differently, put the overhand on this side, you'd be doing essentially the clockwise version of the cap, swivel, versus what we just did, which was the counterclockwise version. So it's very similar, but not quite the same. Because once you have them both, then you can start going in 360s, and that just, I don't know. I think turning is more fun than standing still. But you may not have that bias. I think drills really do help. Let's just do 10 drills with each hand alone on the swivel on this side so that you can feel it with each hand individually to help shore up the muscle memory. Let's start with the left hand up top, and it'll do, actually no, we'll start with the down bottom, sorry. Let's do anti-spin up, big swing all the way to the top, anti-spin down, big swing all the way to the bottom, anti-spin up, big swing to the top, anti-spin down, big swing to the bottom, big swing, anti-spin up, big swing to the top, anti-spin down, big swing to the bottom, anti-spin up, big swing to the top, anti-spin down, big swing to the bottom, anti-spin up, big swing to the top, anti-spin down, big swing to the bottom, 5 more, anti-spin up, and anti-spin down, swing, anti-spin up, swing, anti-spin down, swing, anti-spin up, swing, anti-spin down, swing. 2 more, anti-spin up, swing, anti-spin down, swing, and last one, anti-spin up, swing, anti-spin down, swing. Switch hands, right hand, overhand here, and anti-spin up, swing, anti-spin down, swing, 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 anti-spin up, swing, anti-spin down, swing. 5 more, anti-spin up, swing, anti-spin down, swing, anti-spin up, swing, anti-spin down, swing, anti-spin up, swing, anti-spin down, swing, anti-spin up, swing, and last one, coming around, anti-spin up and swing, anti-spin down and swing. And then just for shits and giggles, in case you haven't done this one before, let's do the pinwheel in together time from clockwise and remind ourselves how to do this portion of the extension because it's the same basic thing coming around. Let's do the 4 pieces individually. So start an overhand at the bottom, we'll do anti-spin up, and then we'll do the big extension top to top, and then anti-spin down, and then the big extension bottom to bottom. Then anti-spin up, big extension top to top, anti-spin down, big extension bottom to bottom. Anti-spin up, big extension, anti-spin down, big extension. When you're practicing the particular things that we just did today, I would practice the version where you're doing overhand on your left. I would sandwich the drills, right? So do 10 reps of it starting with overhand on the left, 10 reps with it starting with overhand on the right, and then 10 reps again with it starting on the left, because the one where you're in counterclockwise is just slightly less strong. That said, you had such a strong version of it from this side, you might find yourself having a harder time doing this one connected to the sweep, starting with the overhand on the right. So that's something also to be present to if you want to learn both combinations in both directions. Doing 360s with the extension and the cap in the middle, like so. I'm in overhand here. I'm going to turn to my left, come into the underhand cap, step so that I can turn, and then I'm going to come up over the top, and I'm back to overhand, right? So if I did that at speed, it would be cap, extension, cap, extension. And then you could do the same thing, turning to your right, where you go cap, extension, with that step in the middle. And then you can connect the two of them together into what I would call them cap 180 reverse or switchback turns. So it would be a left, and then a right, and a right, and you're immediately connecting them to each other so that you can go one to the other, back and forth. And then in theory, if you can do what I just did starting in overhand, you should also be able to do it starting in underhand. But for some people, it does feel different. So I encourage you to try it both ways, because you just don't know what your weaknesses are until you don't know what you don't know until you know. And then you could do the same thing that I just did with the extension, only putting the chasing the sun in the middle, where you do bum 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 bum. That makes sense? So no shame in that chasing the sun game, in my opinion. And it can also be useful in indoor spaces because the extensions can be harder to do. Sometimes, like I've done performances where I might have something right here in the middle that I'm working around, which makes a cap where I'm under that thing easy to accomplish. But if I'm trying to do an extension, I might actually hit the thing. So it's good to have options, in my opinion.